Hello, and welcome to Dreamy Tales, a sanctuary where everyone can experience calm and a touch of magic before gently drifting into sleep. Tonight, we invite you on another enchanting journey, a story that helps soothe the mind and nurture a sense of peace. Before we begin, let's take a moment to prepare our bodies and minds for a comforting, restorative rest. Make yourself cozy, and with each slow inhale and long exhale, let the cares of the day gradually slip away. It's not always easy to step back from the day's demands, especially as night falls. Yet, remember, the less we worry about how quickly we'll fall asleep, the simpler it is for our minds to release any remaining tension. Allow the gentle flow of your breathing to wash away lingering concerns, and let the story ahead guide you into a state of deep relaxation. Now, settle in, and let the dreamy atmosphere softly wrap around you. Enjoy this story, and may you drift into a peaceful, restful slumber here on Dreamy Tales. A soft percussion plays upon your umbrella, a gentle cadence on this temperate, drizzly day as you meander through the tranquil expanse of the copse. Above, the high canopy of ash leaves whispers, each receiving the sky's offering with a faint rustle. Rivulets trace silver paths down the furrowed bark of ancient oaks, vanishing into the dark, receptive earth. Though moisture hangs heavy in the air, a surprising warmth cocoons you. It is one of those vernal afternoons pregnant with the scent of burgeoning life, the rich perfume of damp loam. Azure carpets of bluebells unfurl across the woodland floor, their delicate heads nodding, and mingling with their fragrance is the unmistakable sweet pungency of wild garlic nearby. Borne upon the damp air, fragments of laughter and conversation drift from unseen walkers somewhere along the winding ways. You tread familiar ground, possessed of time and no particular destination. Your steps halt. A merle, sleek and dark, hops across the uneven terrain. Its plumage, you observe, is no simple black, but a complex tapestry woven with iridescent threads of violet, deep forest green, and the blue of midnight skies. Perfect, minuscule beads of rainwater cling to its feathers like scattered jewels. For a fleeting instant, its bright eye meets yours before it flits deeper into the undergrowth. A kinship stirs within you. The bird, it seems, savors the woods today with a joy mirroring your own. Beside the wide path, near a weathered tree stump, you pause. Closing your eyes, you draw in a slow, deliberate breath, filling your lungs with the woodland's essence. Just as unhurriedly, you exhale, feeling the knots of tension in your shoulders and neck dissolve, melting away like mist. A profound sense of contentment washes through you, a quiet gratitude for the vibrant tapestry of existence humming all around. Further along, the path diverges at a known junction. Straight ahead lies the way to the pond, where cygnets might follow their elegant parents across the placid water. To the right, a track slopes downward toward wildflower meadows, promising the potential hoped-for glimpse of the year's first butterflies dancing on the breeze. Yet, your feet turn left, guiding you deeper into the sylvan heartwood. Here, the trees press closer, their embrace thickening, muffling the sounds of others until only the wood's own voice remains. The trail opens unexpectedly into a sun-dappled clearing. Memory offers no record of this place, yet its discovery feels like a gift. A circle of lush grass lies ringed by more sentinel ashes. Tucked to one side stands a timbered hut, draped in tenacious ivy, though its wood bears the sheen of recent deep green paint. Its door rests slightly ajar, an invitation whispered on the quiet air. Could something of interest lie within? Curiosity pulling you forward, you approach the structure. Nearer now, you discern a gleaming brass plaque affixed to the door. Engraved upon it are the words, "The Wanderer's Line." You reach out, a tentative push, and the door swings inward without a sound, as if anticipating your arrival. This, you begin to suspect, is no ordinary miniature railway. Inside, the space defies its external dimensions, stretching larger, cooler, dimmer. A solitary beam of light pierces the gloom, illuminating a long trestle table. Beneath this spotlight rests a model railway, a train, a station, nestled within an exquisitely crafted landscape. It is a perfect fragment of pastoral England rendered in miniature. Undulating hills, dotted with sheep and cattle no larger than postage stamps. A narrow lane bordered by thatched cottages, their gardens strung with minuscule lines of washing. At the tiny station, a locomotive of deep sapphire blue, coupled to two carriages, stands poised. Across from it, a miniature watermill beside its still pond waits in silent repose. Leaning closer, your gaze sweeps over the scene. In the heart of the village, a church with a sturdy square tower overlooks a green, where diminutive ducks shepherd even tinier, impossibly fluffy ducklings. Nearby, a greengrocer receives a delivery of infinitesimal tomatoes. A milk float stands patiently down the lane. Upon the station platform, a conductor figure, clad in shirt and waistcoat, leans casually against a lamppost. Tracing the tracks with your eyes, you note they don't loop back. They wind through the hamlet, traverse the countryside, and vanish into the dark maw of a tunnel. Where might that mysterious passage lead? Another detail snags your attention. Nestled into the table's edge, a coin slot. The mechanism, surely, to breathe life into this static world. But coins? You doubt you possess any. Idly, you slip a hand into your pocket. Your fingertips graze a cool, round metal disc lodged in the very bottom seam. Strange, you have no recollection of it being there. Bringing it out, you weigh the coin in your palm, tracing the cool circumference with a thumb, feeling its history in the nicks and worn edges against your skin. The spotlight catches the metal, sending a glint upwards, and a delightful tremor dances down your spine. With a sense of quiet ceremony, you slide the coin into the slot. Closing your eyes, you inhale deeply, holding the breath for a suspended moment. As you release it slowly, your eyelids flutter open. You stand upon the platform of a railway station, bathed in the authentic warmth of an English countryside morning. A glance around confirms the impossible. It is the very scene you were just observing from above, now rendered life-sized, utterly real. the earlier drizzle is forgotten. Here, cerulean skies stretch overhead. The sun burns away the last vestiges of overnight mist clinging to the fields, and the sweet perfume of freshly mown grass hangs heavy on the still air. Moving a few steps away from the station's red brick solidity, you step from shadow into sunlight, welcoming its gentle kiss upon your face. Down the platform, a station attendant, a woman now, dressed smartly in shirt and waistcoat, offers a broad, welcoming smile and a wave. 2 sharp, cheerful whistles slice the air from the engine. If you wish to discover this magical train's destination, boarding seems prudent. You pull open the wooden carriage door and step inside. No sooner have you settled onto a plush seat of crimson velvet within your compartment than another whistle sounds. Plumes of white steam drift lazily past your window. Peering through the glass, you spy a heron descending with measured grace beside the mill pond. Even as you watch, a gentle lurch signifies departure. The train begins its smooth glide away from the station. Soon, the mill and its quiet water slide from view. Beyond the station, vast orchards unfurl. Row upon row of stout, low-branched apple trees stretch toward the horizon, their limbs heavy with a profusion of delicate blossoms. You are undeniably far from the ivy-clad shed in the woods now. Throughout the coming summer you muse. These petals will drift like snow, replaced by the first nascent buds of fruit. Day by day they will swell, ripen, blush, growing juicier under the sun until months hence these fields will bustle with pickers, gathering plump green bramleys and speckled royal galas. But for this moment, the only sounds are the melodic calls of thrushes and merles, punctuated by the rhythmic click-clack of the steam engine upon the rails. The carriage is warm, rocking gently as the orchards give way to open fields. The velvet beneath your arm feels soft, comforting. Your breathing deepens, slows, your body swaying in easy rhythm with the train's motion. As the trees thin once more, the pasture land becomes more manicured. Cattle and sheep graze with languid contentment beneath the expansive blue. Behind a low stone wall, a cricket pitch lies waiting, pristine green. Figures clad in white emerge, moving toward the crease to commence the day's play. The pitch slopes gently away, and beyond another wall, the grass surrenders to a shingle beach bordering a wide, meandering river. Willow trees droop elegantly over the water, their lowest tendrils kissing the slow-moving current. How long have they stood sentinel here, you ponder, while the river flows ceaselessly, day after day, month after month, year upon passing year. The engine's steady chuffing slows perceptibly as it follows the river's curve. You are close enough now to spot the occasional fish basking motionlessly in the sun-warmed shallows. That clear, cool water invites imagination. The silken slide against your skin. The gentle tug of the current at your fingertips. The prickle of cold on the fine hairs of your hand. Presently, river and rails diverge once more. In the distance, a sandstone outcrop thrusts skyward. At its base lies a tunnel. the very aperture that intrigued you back in the shed. It looms steadily larger. Where will it lead? You press your face to the window, glancing back as the track curves gently leftward. The glass feels warm against your cheek. Through a shimmering heat haze rising from the sun-baked earth, the entire village unfolds below. River and cricket pitch, orchards and fields, church spire and mill wheel. A portrait of profound calm. With a final backward look, you close your eyes and lean into the seat's embrace. Darkness envelops the carriage as the train plunges into the tunnel. You take a moment to scan your body, releasing any lingering tightness, any remnant aches. With a single deep breath, discomfort dissolves. You feel grounded, your body pleasantly heavy, utterly settled. The abrupt shift from profound blackness to a cool, bluish luminescence signals your emergence. Opening your eyes, you find towering spruce and pine trees mantled in thick snow, slipping past mere feet from the window. It is as if the train has traversed not just space, but seasons, leaping from English spring to alpine winter. The trees part momentarily, revealing a breathtaking vista. The tunnel has delivered you to the floor of a wide valley, hemmed in by immense, craggy mountains. The snow covering the expanse between the tracks and the slopes is fresh, deep, immaculate. Above, heavy gray clouds promise more to come. Before the view can fully register, the forest closes in again. Yet, you notice the trees are gliding past with decreasing speed. Leaving your compartment, you cross the corridor to peer from the opposite window. Here, snow-frosted boulders and sheer, dark gray cliffs ascend toward the unseen sky. The tracks, it seems, hug the contours of another mountain flank. A subtle application of brakes brings the train to a smooth halt at a diminutive station, little more than a concrete platform adorned with a few bright red seats beneath a simple plastic shelter. This lack of structure affords an uninterrupted view back down the valley. Before you, a blanket of untouched white stretches into the middle distance, flanked by great sloping banks of pine ascending the valley sides. The vast fields narrow, converging towards a distant cluster of colossal mountains, their high, jagged peaks wreathed in swirling clouds. An impulse arises to explore this starkly beautiful station, however briefly. You are still clad in the jacket donned for your woodland walk, surely inadequate for this winter wonderland. As the thought forms, an overhead luggage rack pops open. A pair of thick, black winter gloves tumbles out. Smiling at this serendipity, you reach up and open the locker fully. Fortune indeed. A knitted hat rests within, white wool flecked with gray, alongside a long padded jacket. Slipping it on feels like being enveloped in a soft, warm duvet. You stroll towards the carriage end, pulling on the hat and gloves as you go. Reaching the door, you turn the cool, silver handle and step lightly onto the snow-covered platform. A satisfying crunch accompanies your footfall. The powder is even deeper than anticipated. A faint breeze stirs the uppermost layer of snow, sending it skirling in delicate spirals around your ankles. The crisp, alpine air bites playfully at your nose and cheeks. From this vantage point, the entire valley unfolds. These mountains, you realize with sudden clarity, have stood here, silent and enduring, for millennia. Their peaks remember Pangaea. They have witnessed countless sunrises and sunsets, and will continue their vigil for epochs to come. Their immense ridges and spines were sculpted slowly, patiently, by wind, water, and the relentless passage of time. It strikes you then, no matter how immense a challenge seems, how overwhelming and immutable, with sufficient time and persistence, incremental change can transform it utterly. A moment stretches, filled with quiet awe and gratitude for the scene before you. Enchanting as the vista is, the warmth of the carriage beckons. Retracing your steps through the snow, you climb back aboard. Moments later, the train resumes its journey. The forest thickens once more outside the window as you remove the winter gear, stowing it back in the magical locker. Just as you click it shut, the train enters another tunnel, plunging you into darkness and anticipation. Where might this passage lead? Abruptly, the grays and whites of the mountains dissolve into a hazy, oceanic blue. The resonant sound of heaving, rolling surf floods the carriage. You are now traveling along a track laid perilously close to the edge of the sea. Between the restless water and the low cliff, hugging the rails, lies a sandy beach, though the tide appears high. The proximity is startling. You feel you could almost reach out and touch the waves. Standing, you slide open the carriage window. The cool, saline tang of sea spray fills your nostrils instantly. A warm breeze whispers through your clothes, ruffling the fabric. From this perspective, the ocean seems infinite, stretching to merge with the sky. To your right, the sun hangs low, just above distant headlands that finger out into the water. Its declining rays scatter like diamonds across the surface, just beyond the breaking surf. A gentle splash catches your eye, then what appears to be a small, furry light brown cap bobbing on the swell. Then another appears, and another. What could they be? Now the small forms seem to float effortlessly on their backs. Recognition dawns. Sea otters. A truly fortunate sighting of these captivating creatures. They revel, you recall reading, in diving through kelp forests for sustenance, capable of holding their breath for minutes as they twist and play in the cool, submerged world. Nature has equipped them with special pouches in their chest fur for stashing food. They drift contentedly on the surface, nibbling shellfish and clams. A strong social bond exists among them, too. Groups often link paws while resting, swimming, or eating, forming living rafts to prevent separation. Families sometimes even use strands of kelp to tether themselves together against the currents. Out in the water, the otters float serenely, observing the slow passage of your train. You blink, and in that instant, they vanish beneath the waves. Settling back into the velvet seat, your eyelids grow heavy. A gentle weariness steals over you. Perhaps you think it is time to return. As if in answer, the steam engine sounds a soft, brief whistle. Just as the train glides into yet another tunnel, you allow your eyes to drift closed. When you open them again, the familiar orchards greet you through the window. The air holds a distinct coolness now. The sun hangs low, painting the high, thin clouds with streaks of lavender and rose. The scent of springtime, rich and earthy, drifts through the open window, signaling the day's end. The rhythmic pulse of the wheels slows, decelerating as a familiar village slides into view. The church, the mill, the blossom-laden trees. It feels mere moments since you departed. Yet stepping onto the platform, you sense the satisfying closure of a long, fulfilling day. As the sun finally dips below the horizon, you close your eyes, drawing in one last long breath of this magical air. Slowly, deliberately, you let it out. Opening your eyes once more, you find yourself standing back in the shed discovered deep within the woods. Below you, petite and perfect as before, rests the wondrous model railway. The shed door swings open silently. Outside, the rain has ceased. The sun, just before vanishing entirely, casts long, golden rays over the treetops. You cannot have been absent for long. The grass remains slick and wet beneath your feet. It is time, truly, to head home. Leaving the shed behind, you walk slowly across the damp grass toward the path you followed that morning. The sounds of the woods reassert themselves. Distant voices, laughter, the occasional call of a swan from the direction of the pond. As you reach the edge of the trees, you cast a final glance back towards the clearing. To your astonishment, there is nothing there. No shed, no ivy, no freshly painted wood. In fact, no sign that anything ever stood there at all. Where the building had been moments before, only grass remains, standing tall, glossy, and beaded with lingering raindrops. A smile touches your lips as you turn and walk deeper into the trees. Perhaps one day you will wander this way again and rediscover that magical railway. You hope so. Yet, a deeper feeling suggests that if another such adventure is destined for you, it will find its own way to you. Ahead, a merle hops across the path, a twig held firmly in its beak. Sunlight, breaking through the leafy canopy, dances in luminous pools upon the woodland floor, still glistening with the memory of the morning's rain. With one final, deep inhalation and slow exhalation, you turn your steps toward the comfort of home. Conjure in your thoughts an old watermill, a structure of weathered crimson brick born of the 18th century. Its slender chimney, a quiet sentinel beside a placid pool. This is Oak Haven. Here, our pilgrimage finds its source. You find yourself poised upon gray concrete, the mill standing resolute before you. Its narrow flue ascends, mirrored silently in the still waters adjacent. Today unfolds as a promise of serene wandering through this particular tapestry of the Central Shires, a landscape that breathed life into the imagination of E.R. Croft, nurturing visions that would bloom into his children's tale, The Little Folk's Journey, and later, the vast tapestry of his fantasy epic, The Sovereign Stone Cycle. These narratives, unfurling within the incredible imagined realm of Ethelgard, have struck a profound chord in countless souls. Small wonder, then, that the Sovereign Stone Cycle, endures as one of history's most cherished book series. Our path commences here, at the mill, nestled within the leafy embrace of Verdant Hill, a suburb southeast of Brimingford. From Oakhaven Mill, the route traces past Croft's former childhood dwelling on Ashfield Lane. Then, venturing further south, you shall uncover the captivating Whisperwood Fen, the very theater of Croft's youthful escapades. Ultimately, your exploration culminates in a gentle promenade through the glorious meadows of the Shire Country Park. For now, though, a ceaseless current of traffic flows on the road behind, a low, persistent hum emanating from engines. Each passing vehicle trails a light caress of wind, cool against your skin. Thoughts drift through your mind, ephemeral as these cars. They do not trouble or ensnare, they merely pass. You are clad in light, comfortable attire, a soft sweater knotted securely at your waist. Your sole companion is a small backpack, holding essentials and a flask of water. A sense of lightness pervades, an unburdened freedom born from needing nothing more. Ready to embark, you draw nearer the mill, compelled by a desire for a clearer perspective. The mill rests 4 miles south of Brimingford's heart, within the bounds of what was once Oakhaven Village, the seed from which the Shire in the Sovereign Stone cycle grew. Croft himself painted Oakhaven in words as a kind of lost paradise. It was the idyllic sanctuary of his youth, a realm he charted for untold hours. On this lucid, sun-drenched day, the mill radiating such picturesque charm, the sentiment resonates deeply within you. If the little folk's journey is known to you, the mill might stir recognition. Within its pages linger references to the central figure, Finian Burrows, journeying past the mill in his home village. Today, Oakhaven Mill stands transformed into a museum housing a permanent Croft exhibition. Legend whispers that Croft and his brother, while playing amidst these grounds, were once chased away by the miller's son. They dubbed the boy the Flower Fiend, perpetually dusted white from his labors. These encounters later sparked the creation of Barnaby Grime, a character in Croft's lore, also a miller's offspring. In weaving the magical world of Ethelgard, Croft drew threads from the people and places encircling him. Oakhaven Mill and its immediate environs are contained by a pale timber fence. Just beyond lies a dense congregation of deep green shrubs and trees. Through apertures in the foliage, the silhouette of the red brick mill emerges, crowned by its pointed, ruddy roof. A tall chimney looms behind it. In the brilliant sunlight, the mill pond offers a crystal-clear reflection of the edifice and its verdant frame, a reflection subtly fractured by faint, glistening ripples upon the water. The pond is a known haven for wild life. Herons, mallards, and moorhens are frequent denizens. In the distance, a dark, avian shape marks the water's edge. You approach the very fence, peering intently through the gaps. The first detail arresting your gaze is the bird's vibrant beak, a slash of scarlet and gold. Its body is cloaked in ruffled black plumage, accented with white, perched upon lime-green legs and feet. A moorhen, surely. You observe as it edges closer to the pond, then slowly, elegantly begins to float upon the water's surface. It appears utterly peaceful, carefree, bobbing gently with each subtle ripple. A high, contented chirp escapes the moorhen. You watch it glide, swift as a water skier, across the pond towards the mill. Reaching a small, grass-topped platform, it uses its wings for a final propulsion, settling down to rest beside the aged structure. Witnessing the moorhen's calm repose, a similar tranquility settles over you, untroubled and serene. You absorb the delightful tableau of mill and pond one final time, briefly closing your eyes to imprint the image upon your inner sight. A deep inhalation draws fresh air into your lungs. A contented sigh releases it. Turning leftward, you commence the walk towards your next destination, Croft's childhood home. As you move, your stride finds a steady, comfortable rhythm. High above, against the canvas of the clear blue sky, a bird traces a path parallel to yours, wings beating rhythmically. Could it be the moorhen, you muse? A fleeting escort on your journey. The thought conjures a smile. Not long after leaving the mill's presence behind, you arrive at a bustling roundabout. Patience guides you. You wait a minute or two for a safe interval in the traffic flow. Once clear, you cross and turn right onto Ashfield Lane. A thrill of anticipation courses through you, knowing the destination is near. A fellow walker approaches from the opposite direction. A shared smile and nod pass between you, a silent acknowledgement on the path. Before long, you stand before 264 Ashfield Lane, known in its time as Seven Birches. Croft's family settled here in 1896, when he was but 4 years old. It was his first Brimingford residence, now counted among the area's most venerable houses. You pause, absorbing its details. The mock Tudor dwelling presents itself before a row of similar homes. A charming front garden features a wide stone path flanked by delightful patches of green lawn. The upper story of the quaint two-level building is painted pristine white, accented with dark timber strips lending it character. Below, exposed brickwork frames a white bay window that protrudes gently. The house possesses a pleasing irregularity of form, with a pointed roof and a section extending forward, sheltering the sturdy green front door. Like its neighbors, a low wooden fence with a gate delineates its boundary. How many times, you ponder, did young Croft pass through that very gate, behind that green door? In Croft's era, this locale was entirely rural. He spoke of his time here as the happiest period of his childhood. As sunlight bathes the houses, casting encompassing shadows, you try to envision that bygone time. A sympathetic happiness fills you, imagining those idyllic, youthful days. Before Croft's house lies a verge of green grass bordering the pavement. At its heart stands a tree, its leaves shimmering like emerald jewels in the sun. The crowns of larger trees, visible beyond the rooftops, sway gently in the breeze. It becomes easy to grasp Croft's affection for Ashfield Lane. Even now, amidst the murmur of passing cars, an enduring sense of peace prevails. Reaching into your backpack, you retrieve your water flask. A refreshing sip prepares you to continue the adventure. Next lies the captivating Whisperwood Fen. To reach it, you cross the road, retracing your earlier steps. Within minutes, you arrive at a road branching to your right. Following the pavement, you navigate more suburban streets before reaching the Fen's entrance. Whisperwood Fen, once a reservoir serving Oakhaven Mill, now thrives as a park and nature reserve. The lovely Willow Run meanders through its core. This fen served as the muse for the Elderwood, bordering the Shire in the volume Companions of the Stone. Croft depicted the Elderwood as ancient, a remnant of vast, forgotten forests, a description that perfectly captures this woodland sanctuary. Flanking the entrance stand, clusters of centuries-old trees, a diverse guard of honor, varying in stature, form, and texture. Some rise straight and tall, others twist or lean with age. Bark textures range from smooth to rough and gnarled. You draw closer, studying the deep, intriguing striations etched into their surfaces, testaments to their longevity. Leaves upon the branches perform a delicate ballet as a light, warm breeze whispers past, creating a wondrous rustling symphony. Breathing in, you note the pleasant, earthy fragrance intensifying as you step into the fen's embrace. The park remains largely unchanged from Croft's time, save for the addition of a pale wooden walkway snaking off in various directions, winding amongst the trees. Stepping onto it, you reflect on what a marvelous playground this must have been for Croft's youthful explorations. Further along the path, two children clad in Wellington boots catch your eye. They paddle in the Willow Run, perhaps mirroring the very games Croft and his brother once played. One child sends up a small spray with her left foot. Water droplets arc through the air. She laughs, stomping again, water sloshing over her boots. You smile, witnessing their simple joy, then proceed along the walkway. The rhythmic clip-clop of your shoes on the wooden planks offers a satisfying cadence. You focus on this sound as you walk, feeling calm, anchored to the present moment. Soon, you encounter another group of children, these ones scaling some of the more contorted, accommodating trees. A boy, perhaps 8 or 9, successfully attains a sturdy branch, beaming with pride at his accomplishment. The fen truly is a natural arena for childhood adventure. Again, you understand its allure for the young Croft. You continue to trace the meandering path. Certain sections remain damp and muddy, shaded from the sun's persistent rays by the dense canopy. You tread carefully over the mire, the clip-clop transforming into a soft squelch. Just ahead, to your left, a set of wooden steps ascends to a decked viewpoint. Eager for a different perspective, you head towards them and begin to climb. With each step, you draw nearer the ancient treetops. The sun's warmth intensifies here, light filtering generously through arboreal gaps. Looking upward, you see the sun glowing through a patterned quilt of clouds that has gathered across the sky. In this instant, perched calmly on the viewing deck, you feel utterly at ease. Below stretches a verdant sea composed of trees, grass, and moss. Occasionally, through breaks in the green, you glimpse other figures moving through the fen, their sounds muted by distance. Such profound peace resides on this deck. The only audible notes are the susurrus of leaves stirred by the wind and the delicate tweets of birds perched on nearby branches. The fen is simultaneously intriguing and tranquil. What a magical place resonates in your thoughts. After a quiet interlude spent admiring the panorama, you take another sip from your water flask. Feeling refreshed and ready to proceed, you descend the steps, returning to the wooden walkway. You follow the path leftward until you reach a gate nestled amongst trees. Passing through, carefully securing it behind you, you find yourself once more on a pavement beside a busy road. Initially, the sound of cars feels alien after the fen's hush. But the return of this gentle background hum soon becomes soothing. Once again, you become aware of thoughts drifting past, mirroring the traffic flow. You know serenity awaits shortly within the Shire Country Park. For now, you turn left, walking along the pavement at a steady pace. The blanket of clouds has dispersed, and the sun lavishes warmth upon your skin. A pleasant sensation after the tree's cool shelter. There is scarcely a breeze now. The temperature is perfect for walking. During this venture, all sense of time has dissolved, yet there is no urgency today. You relish the freedom to linger, to absorb. At the roundabout, you turn left again, continuing along the pavement, attuned to your surroundings. Small birds flit in and out of the bordering bushes, their movements like choreographed dance. A dog walker passes, their fluffy companion pausing to investigate scents beneath the shrubs. You offer a smile to both before moving onward, and you keep walking until a familiar landmark reappears. To your left stands Oak Haven Mill, the genesis of this wonderful exploration. This time, however, you walk past it, turning left through the car park. As you traverse the tarmac, you spot a pale wooden sign beside an opening. The words are initially indistinct, but as you draw closer, they resolve. Welcome to the Shire Country Park. A quiet sense of accomplishment washes over you, having reached the final stage of your journey through Croft's remarkable world. The park received its name in 2005, honoring Croft's deep connections to this area. It is a nature reserve tracing the beautiful valley of the tranquil Silver Stream River for some 4 miles, a mosaic of wetland, grassland, woodland, and heath, teeming with wildlife. Much like the mill pond, herons, mallards, and moorhens grace its waters. With fortune, one might even glimpse a kingfisher poised for its hunt. Entering the park, the sounds shift. Children's laughter drifts on the air, mingling with the river's gentle murmur. Before you unfolds a vast, lush green field, stretching into the distance. A straight, golden path cuts through the field's center, running parallel to the river. Vibrant blooms, pink, purple, yellow, cast their reflections onto the water's surface, which glitters under the sun's gaze. Just as Croft depicted the Shire in his books, this park is suffused with beauty and idyllic peace. It isn't merely the river and path that command attention. Along the field's left edge stands a solid wall of trees, a natural bastion separating the park from the world beyond. These trees offer cool respite from the sun, yet allow sufficient light and warmth to filter through the gaps. The ground beneath them looks deeply inviting, the perfect spot to pause and rest. At this thought, a yawn escapes you. Stretching your arms, you acknowledge a pleasant weariness from the day's walking. Perhaps you concede. It is time for repose. Stepping onto the sponge-like grass, you make your way towards the trees, slip off your backpack, and sit. Untying the sweater from your waist, you fold it neatly, placing it on the ground. You rest your head upon its soft surface as you lie back, allowing your arms and legs to fall into loose, relaxed abandon. Your limbs sink into the yielding grass beneath. The earth accepts your weight. Above, patches of blue sky are visible through the leafy canopy. You feel the sun's warmth dappling your skin. Very few clouds drift overhead. Your eyes begin to feel heavy, laden with sleep. You blink several times, striving to remain awake, to savor this blissful atmosphere. But soon, the effort becomes too great. Your eyelids gently descend. You tune into the soundscape surrounding you. The faint echoes of children's laughter, the soft rush of the river, the rustle of leaves stirred by an unseen breeze, the sweet chorus of birdsong. These sounds deepen your relaxation, coaxing your mind to drift and dream. You draw a deep breath in, exhaling with a sigh of profound satisfaction. Then, you reflect upon the extraordinary pilgrimage undertaken today. The mill's stunning reflection in the pond near the beginning, the sharp image of the moorhen at the water's edge. You recall Croft's childhood home, the daydreams it inspired of a life lived within those walls. The vivid memory surfaces of the peace felt upon the viewpoint in Whisperwood Fen. But which part, you wonder idly, was the favorite? Was it exploring the Fen's mystical terrain? Or perhaps this very moment, resting peacefully in the Shire Country Park? Whatever the answer, all thoughts are gradually receding, softened by the tranquil essence of Croft's world, and you hold the quiet knowledge that you can return here, to this feeling, whenever a moment of calm is needed. Lying upon the grass, utterly still and at ease, your breathing slows, growing quieter. You are enveloped in complete peace, and gradually, gently, you drift into a deep and restorative sleep.